Here we are then for round number 2 at Redlodge, 25th of April in the fine spring summer weather, and our venue for this round is the brilliant Redlodge Circuit. We are just over the Cambridgeshire Suffolk border, not too far from Mildenhall and the famous American Air Base. 1200 metre circuit, 11 turns, quite a technical track and very flat as well, not much elevation, so it's flat and very twisty in places. We have some perfect spring weather here, sunny forecast throughout the day, no rain forecast in the meteorological forecast, about 14 degrees and a light breeze. You would say this is pretty much perfect conditions for racing. Minibike 140 Group B in association with Cymoto about to get underway. We'll look at the lineups in just a few moments as the riders make final preparations in the waiting zone, and this is how they line up. Nathan Gardner starting on pole position. It'll be Stephen Humphreys in third, will pick up second place in a few moments of course. Tommy Almond in fourth, Adam Jameson in fifth place from Ian Blatchford in sixth. Rest of the top 10 made up of Lewis Mackay, Peter Wadsworth, Dean Quenzie and Joshua Crew. Further back we have Paul Mitchell in 11th place, Chris Impey in 12th position on the number 86, Harry Clark in 13th from Mark James Cockfield, Jack Wolf and Elliot Hines in 16th place, Rob Overend in 17th, Kevin Clark in 18th position, 19th Mackay Dickinson, Fahad Ladder in 20th, David Lindsell 21st, Alec Jones 22nd, James Walker 23rd from Ian Gamble in 24th position, Rhys Morgan 25th, and rounding up the field is the number 100 of Kelsey Carter. So riders in the waiting zone now for moto number 1 of the Cymoto Minibike 140, and the riders take to the track for their sighting lap. If you're just joining us, welcome to round number 2 of the Rich Energy British Minibikes Championship here at Redlodge in Suffolk. My name's Chris Sora, taking you through the afternoon's race action. We've got a full race program coming up, of course, throughout the day. Riders, pretty much most of these riders in their first moto of the day for their race class. And here we go, about to get underway with the Cymoto Minibike 140 Group B. Just a shout out, of course, to Cymotos for all their support of both the 140 and the 160 class. Another brand that's very much involved in the world of British minibike racing, specialising in mail order for the pit bike parts and in operation for over 15 years and supporting quite a few riders in the paddock today. We've got, of course, familiar names in Jim Lovell and Ryan Tyres, both winning the championships last year. Of course, Jim in the 140s, who are about to get underway, of course. Ryan Tyres, the 160 champion. And if you're interested in the mini bikes, of course, getting into the sport, there are some new models coming out from Cymoto. The 140 and 160 machines coming out in June this year. So a full range of mini bikes available from our race sponsors, Cymotos. We take to the grid now then for the first race of the day for Cymoto Minibike 140 Group B. The action about to get underway. And the last few riders now taking their place on the grid. We'll be looking later on, if we get some time, of course, to speak to the interview with Michael Laverty, looking at the, of course, we've got the Vision Track Laverty Academy. You see the awnings just on the left-hand side of the course there. Plenty of exciting developments in the world of minibike racing this year to help to develop the next generation of riders as well, of course. And exciting news, of course, that especially with the Bucci Moto machines of the there's more of a global, like a World Cup taking place this year with the series especially across Europe, with winning riders in the European Championships looking to get a ride in Moto 3. So there's definitely a ladder there for future development. There is the British Minibike Academy with the riders selected for 2021. Some of the real rising stars in British minibike racing. We'll focus on that several times, of course, throughout the 2021 season. Really is a an exciting development. Of course, Michael Laverty getting involved in that, of course, a big name in the world of motorcycle racing over the years. Spoke to him last year, of course, at the final round of the championship at Teesside, where we talked about the academy in more detail. And as we say, of course, that'll be something that we'll be picking up on that several times throughout the excitement. Really is an exciting development, and great to see the next generation of riders making their way through. There is a delay out on the track. Just looking to see what the issue is. I think there was an issue further down the grid with perhaps a machine unable to get away. So a short delay now before the first race gets underway for the Cymoto Minibike 140 Group B. Last few riders on the grid. So we're just looking out to see what the pause is. I think there was a fault with one of the bikes on the sighting lap possibly. So just waiting to get the all clear from the starter. Grid looks about ready to go, just making sure it's all corresponding, of course, to the qualifying times. Well, whatever the issue is, I think it's been resolved because the green flag is now ready. The visors go down, of course. Riders concentrating on our starter with the green flags. The flag started, of course, for the event at Redlodge, which is about to get underway. Nathan Gardner occupying the pole position. Flag drops, and away they go into the first corner. Gardner with a good getaway down the inside and holds on to the lead into the first corner. Stephen Humphries in there, Adam Jamieson, Tommy Ormond all getting through. Oh, it's tight into the first couple of corners. Everyone seems to have got through safely as they make their way through down to 180 for the first time into the off-cambered Warren corner. Looks like Gardner's got a good getaway. Down the back straight they go for the first time. Looks like everyone's got through safely. The leaders making their way down towards the S's for the first time. So it's Gardner that leads as they make their way down towards Paddock Bend for the first time. It's getting close at the front here, though, as they make their way down over the line to complete lap number 1. Getting close down into the first corner. We'll look at the leaders as they make their way through to that first corner. Humphries in second, having a look down the inside. So we'll pick up Gardner on the timing sheets very shortly on the 2:54. Adam Jamieson, second place on the 59, right behind him. This is a very close battle at the start as Gardner gets a good getaway. Down towards the Warren they go, along the back straight, the rest of the top 10 going through. There's Gardner, the race leader. And there you can see the leaders just keeping that open entry into S's, trying not to sacrifice too much speed. The exit here, very important as well. And because they're going straight down into the faster part of the track, the Simpson Straight, the exit of the S's, that slow part we were looking at a few moments ago, very important indeed. So Gardner's still the race leader on the 2:54. Humphries second. For some reason he's not showing on the timing charts there. Hopefully that'll be picked up as the race goes on. So Jamieson showing as your race leader currently in second place. Humphries third, Tommy Ullman, Paul Mitchell, Lewis Mackay, Dean Quincy, Ian Blatchford and Joshua Crew rounding up the top 10. So there's the 2:41 of Stephen Humphries. All in the apex there as they go through the S's. 21 just behind of Tommy Ullman. Third and fourth place with 8 laps to go. And Ullman again just going for a sweeping outside line there, just trying to get a bit more entry speed into the bottom corners just to close up slightly on Humphries. Jameson still in second place as we focus on this battle for third position. Paul Mitchell and Dean Quincy, 6th and 7th position on the track. So it's still Gardner that leads the way. We'll try and pick up the timing in a few moments as Ullman having a look on the inside as they make their way through to the Warren. As we switch the camera angles onto the back straight there, if you look at the back of the screen, you'll see just how off camber that corner is as we go through into the S's. And again, Ullman having a look down the inside. Oh, just seemed to lose a bit of speed going into S's there. Went tight on the entry to go for the pass and has lost out slightly there because he really did sacrifice his corner speed, so he's going to have to regroup now and try and close back up on the 241 of Stephen Humphries. Still there in second place. They crossed the line. Well, third on the track, should say, because Nathan Gardner is still the race leader. Jameson in second. 6 laps to go in this Minibike 140 Group B in association with Sai Motos. Charging through into 180, that really technical right-hand hairpin. We do have a hot lap of the circuit, which we'll try and bring to you very shortly, perhaps possibly after this race if we get a few moments, just to give you an idea of what the Redlodge Circuit is like. It's, by some standards of some of the tracks we visit across the calendar, this is more of a technical type circuit. There's a lot of slow corners at the start of the lap. It does pick up the pace in the second half of the lap here as well, as we look at the number 84. The number 39 of Joshua Crew just behind, currently 9th on the track, battling for position. Blatchford rounding up the top 10. As I say, we'll look at the hot lap a bit later on, but just to explain, this Redlodge Circuit really is more of a technical type of circuit. When you compare it certainly to the likes of, for example, Teesside and especially Three Sisters up in Lancashire, those sort of circuits, this is a very different challenge for the riders. Line choice very important indeed. A strong emphasis, you would say, on getting the elbows up, getting the passes made. Down they go into the S's once again. This battle on the edge of the top 10. Just a bit further ahead there, we saw Paul Mitchell and Dean Quincy battling away. They're in the scrap for 6th position. So still Gardner that leads. Jameson second, Humphries third, Tommy Ullman in 4th place. There's Humphries, and still this battle raging. Humphries in 3rd, Ullman 4th. Nathan Gardner 287, still your race leader. And look at the 21 here, the Dayglow yellow leathers and wheels there. Very easy to identify Tommy Ullman. You can just see now he's starting to change his lines here. He can't get through on speed at the moment, so he's just got to try and change the lines here. And I'd imagine he'll go, yeah, he does. He goes wider on the entry into the S's. He'll cut across now, one would imagine, just try to get the exit speed. A wider outside line there, just trying to get the momentum somewhere. Because Humphries here on number 241 is doing very well indeed. He's guarding those inside lines. He's making himself very difficult to pass here, which of course is his right. And Ullman's having to work here. Tommy Ullman on the 21. Certainly looks quick behind Humphries, but can't find a way through at the moment. There we see the Guy Martin replica helmet there, and the red and blue leathers there, number 241 Humphries. Doing a great job of holding on to that position. Ullman just behind. Back with the 735 a bit further down the field. Battles throughout the field in this Minibike 140 Heat 1 Group B. Of course, these bikes, they have limited scope for modifications and tuning. So what it does mean is that the riders are on fairly even machinery. It's kind to the budget, of course. The riders don't have to. The riders don't really have to spend lots of money on tuning and developing the machines, because they're pretty much out of the crate, ready to race. Just minor modifications for tuning and development, perhaps on the setup, of course, for each circuit. So very much an even playing field. Further down here, we have the 287 battling in the midfield. Nathan Gardner, as I say, still your race leader, does seem to have dropped on the timing screen momentarily. Currently showing in 24th on our screens, but leading on the track. Fastest lap of the race, incidentally, a 51.284 from the 254 of Nathan Gardner. Jameson's still in second, Humphries third. Moving now towards the last lap. Here we see the 287 of Dean Quincy. 735 Lewis Mackay in fourth. The rider going down just a bit further down the field. Just trying to pick the number up on that bike, but rider evidently okay. Just firing the hot machine up back into the race. Sometimes the 4 strokes can be a bit difficult to get going on when they drop the machine. But rider back in the race. That was the number 32, a bit further down the field. Shouldn't have picked up the name. That was Alec Jones, who was in 18th place. Nathan Gardner, meanwhile, making his way down towards the checkered flag. Should be coming through any moment now. Checkered flag now being readied down here at the finish line. Gardner coming down towards the final few corners. Checkered flag goes out, so, well, there we go. I think it would be Gardner classified as the winner. Fahad Ladder goes through a lap down. It's going to be Adam Jameson second, Stephen Humphries and Tommy Ullman going through. Very close battle there to the line. There goes Mackay just ahead of Dean Quincy, both riders setting their fastest lap on the final lap. So really a good pace in that battle for the top 10. They all make their way through. Joshua Clue, Ian Batchford and Paul Mitchell. Just a few moments then before the Cymoto Minibike 140A gets underway. Here we are at Redlodge in Suffolk, and we'll have a look very shortly. Anthony Jordan carried out a hot lap for us over the weekend. We'll have a look at the Redlodge Circuit in a bit more detail. Back we go to minibike action, and the Cymoto minibikes make their way onto the course. We start with Group B. They line up with Stephen Humphries on pole position from Tommy Ullman, Adam Jameson third, Michael Med in fourth, Ian Blatchford and Lewis Mackay taking us down to sixth position. Seventh for Peter Wadsworth from Dean Quincy, Paul Mitchell and Harry Clark in 10th place, 11th for Mark James Cockfield, Elliot Hines in 12th. 13th for Rob Overend, Joshua Crew in 14th, Kevin Clark and Chris Impey in 16th place, Kai Dickinson 17th, Jack Wolf in 18th place. A bit further back, 20th position for David Linsdell from Ian Gamble, Alec Jones, James Walker, Rhys Morgan 24th position, Casey Hanby 25th and Craig Rowland running at 26th position in this 27 rider field. So riders under wave yellows on the sighting lap, having a look at the course as the sun makes another appearance, especially on the back of the circuit there. Fine conditions for racing today. As you can see on the graphic there, about 13 degrees, so it has got a little bit warmer out on the track, but negligible change from the race earlier on today before the lunch break. Of course, these riders are out. So it's pretty much a fairly bright day, but a cloud out there as well, but the track in perfect condition. Credit, of course, to the team here at Redlodge for providing this venue for this second round of the championship. Well-established circuit here in Suffolk, just over the border from Cambridgeshire. Kind of roughly between Cambridge and Bury St Edmunds, if you know your UK geography. Heading more towards East Anglia, really, and I would say it's a proper classic kart circuit, you would say here. It's a real mixture of slow technical corners, fast straights on the second half of the lap, and of course crucially here we've got this very technical opening part of the lap. There's no real start straight here, they go straight into the first corner, but we're just waiting. There's possibly a bit of trouble on the grid here. Just waiting for this race to get underway, but just waiting for confirmation from the timing hut that the grid's ready to go, and we're all happy. Yep, we're ready to go for race number 2 for the Cymoto Minibike 140 Group B. Flag drops and away they go. Good jump down the middle there from Dean Quincy, but round the outside goes Joshua Crew. They charge into Senna for the first time. That really tight hairpin. There they go. Up to another slow hairpin 180, and it looks like Joshua Crew, Rhys Morgan battling for the lead. Good clean start. Everyone seems to have got through the first few corners safely. On the back they go. So looks like Joshua Crew leading as they go into Wessex for the first time. Further back, everyone fighting for position on this opening lap. Always a difficult part of the race, this first lap. It's one of the best opportunities to get some overtaking done, of course, but make a mistake and you're leaving yourself a lot of work to do, but everyone just keeping a cool head on this first lap. Oh, right on cue, that's the commentator's curse. One of the back markers goes down in quite a bit of a tangle. Oh, 3 riders down. I shouldn't have said that, should I? It's 47 in there, the number 12 in trouble as well, of David Linsdell also in there. It's a proper slow corner tumble there. The 2 riders tangled up there. So that's Linsdell and the number 47, Ian Gamble as well, that are in trouble. Riders appear to be okay. Oh, there's a bit of track work to do for the marshals, I think, to sweep up the debris. Let's have a look at that again further down. Through the S's for the first time. Gamble at the back of the 47. Oh, he just tripped over the back wheel. Bit of bad luck there. And also caught up, I think David Linsdell got caught up in that one as well. So Ian Gamble, slow speed tumble. The riders just working to get that debris off the track. So here we go, we're 1 round into the championship and already the commentator's curse has been invoked. It's got that one out the way. Both riders, of course, I jest, but both riders are okay. They're just sorting themselves out. It was just a racing incident at the back of the field, but they're both unharmed and hopefully will be out later on today. The marshals are here. We are great work here just to pick the sweep the debris off the track. 1 or 2 sharp bits of fairing in there as well, so important that the marshals get that racing line cleared up, because there could be the potential of a puncher in there. The race, of course, going on. This means Adam Jameson is your new race leader. Joshua Crew, who was the early leader, now dropping to second, but Adam Jameson, 59, has got through to the lead. There he goes, just out of shot. Putting in a couple of fast laps here. Let's have a look at the lap times as they go through. Jameson crossing the line, 52.849 last time, fastest lap of the race. Oh, there's been a red flag. Oh, race has been stopped. Now I can only speculate that's because of that incident on the first lap where we had the debris on the track. And the unfortunate Dean Quincy put his fist in the air in frustration. You can quite imagine that, because he was running well there in 3rd place, starting to fight his way through after that good start, but the red flag has come out. We've had a stoppage, and certainly as far as I'm aware, not been told anything otherwise. I think this is because of that incident to the S's on the first lap at the back of the field. Riders are okay. Certainly nobody hurt. The medics are still in position, so it's nothing because of an injury. It's purely because there's a lot of debris, as you can see where the marshals are now. There's a lot of pretty sharp debris down on that corner. Might be a bit of luck here for those 2 riders in trouble there. They might be able to take the restart possibly. But here we see the Redlodge Marshal Crew just looking to sweep that debris up. I think they've asked to stop the race here because it's unsafe for the race to continue with all that. There are some pretty sharp bits of debris on the track, so they want to get that swept off the circuit and make sure the track's clean before racing can carry on, because we don't want a puncher, of course. It's look at the Marshal Crew, they're just sweeping the circuit away. So red flag situation, but as I say, riders are all okay. It's just track maintenance needs to be done now. We'll take a brief pause and be back for the restart in just a moment. Machine's nicely warmed up, riders on track, and it looks like the timing crew are ready to go. Green flag goes up, and the restart of the Cymotos Minibike 140 gets underway. Another good start there from Dean Quincy, but the 84 getting down the inside, charging into that first corner. Round they go through French Quarter to Senna, that tight left-handed hairpin. 84, your race leader. Reese Morgan, Joshua Crew, Dean Quincy, all getting away well. They make their way through 180 for the first time, through to the Warren, that left-handed off-cambered, 90-degree left-handed. Dean Quincy down the inside into the S's for the first time and takes the lead. So I don't think he was too happy to see the red flag come out, but it certainly seems to have worked in his favour. They go past the accident site there, down the back straight towards the paddock bend in the final corner. So it looks like Dean Quincy holding on to the lead on the first lap. Joshua Crew in second place. Will pick up 84, the unidentified name in third. Adam Jameson fourth. Paul Mitchell, Lewis Mackay, Stephen Humphries close behind as well. Good, clean first lap. Everyone staying out of trouble. Through to the first flying lap. Oh, it's all very close, so into 180. Some bar banging there, and a rider stationary on the hairpin. That's the 735 of Lewis Mackay. Now, whether he just caught the back wheel of the slower rider and just stalled the engine, I think. He lost the engine. He's got it kick-started back into life. The race goes on. Lewis Mackay dropping from 6th place. He's back underway, although towards the back of the field. Dean Quincy continuing to lead the way. Joshua Crew not too far behind in second place. 84 in third. Adam Jameson and Paul Mitchell. So that means, of course, with Mackay dropping out of contention, Stephen Humphries will move into 6th position. Although 86 making the move, of course, the rider we're looking at now, that's Chris Impey moving into 6th place. Oh, and just behind Impey. That is Impey that's gone down, actually. 86 just lost the front end. Coming out of Senna, and he's lost the engine as well. He's got to get it kick-started back into life. Finds a gear, and away he goes. So a small mistake there from Chris Impey, goes down, and that's how easily it happens. He just seemed to, the front end just got away from him on the corner. Here's the 21 now, Tommy Ullman, who will move into 7th place. That means that Stephen Humphries goes back into 6th position. Dean Quincy continues to lead here. They come into the first corner. This great battle with 3 laps to go. Joshua Crew and Adam Jameson all very close. So Dean Quincy getting to the lead early on, and now he's having to act defensively here because he's coming under a lot of pressure from Joshua Crew as they go into 180, that tight hairpin. Oh, and Crew's touched the back end. Down he goes. And very smartly finds a gap and runs to the side of the course to retrieve his bike. There we see the catch underneath the sump there. That catches the oil when the bikes go down or if they lose any fluids during the race. Doesn't seem to have lost anything onto the track, so that's good news. And of course, very good news that Joshua Crew's okay. Although I'm sure will be disappointed to be out of the race. There we see just another small error. He just touched the back wheel of Dean Quincy, misjudged the speed. And really, when that happens, nothing you can do. There's an incident on the S's as well. Rider's gone down with waved yellows. I'm not too sure who it is, but something's happened at the top of the circuit as well. So an incident-packed Sai Moto's Minibike 140 Group B here. And Dean Quincy continues to lead the way as you look at another one of our midfield battles here. Well, looking towards 5th place. Stephen Humphries, fastest lap of the race last time round. He's moved up to 5th position now with, of course, Crew dropping out of contention now, catching up on the 59 of Adam Jameson as they make their way through to the top corner now into the S's. That wave yellow's gone back in, so whatever happened up there has cleared itself out. Stephen Humphries, the rider with the pink and blue Guy Martin replica helmet, the red and black leathers, 2-4-1 as they make their way to the last lap. It's getting close here at the front. Dean Quincy continues to lead the way, 84 in 2nd. They're just going through Senna now. Jameson 3rd, and Humphries finishing on good form here, starting to close up. There's your 2nd place rider, Dean Quincy, continuing to lead the way. There he is through the Warren for the final time. Starting to pull away on this final lap. There goes Quincy, just out of shot, 84 2nd, 59 Jameson 3rd. Humphries keeping the pressure on, close behind as well as the 668 of Paul Mitchell. Shout out to Uncle Andy, number 94 in this one as well. As Tamsin Island gets in touch on the YouTube. Dean Quincy leads them down the straight for the final time. Into Paddock Bend, round the final corner they go. Checkered flag comes out. And after such an eventful race, it's Dean Quincy that takes the checkered flag, 84 in 2nd. The 59 of Adam Jameson just about holding off Stephen Humphries with his fastest lap of the race. Paul Mitchell and Tommy Ullman fighting through to 6th place there on the number 21. And rest of the top 10, Ian Blatchford, MJ Cogfield, and the 107 of Kevin Clark just ahead of Alec Jones on the 32 as the midfield runners come screaming through. Here we go then with our final race of the day here at the Rich Energy British Minibikes round number 2 at Redlodge. And this is how they line up for the Moto's Minibike 140 final. It'll be Rhys Stevenson on pole position from Richard Holmes Williams. Ryan Tyers in 3rd, Ben Lord in 4th, Chase Collymore 5th, Ryan Clark in 6th place, 7th for Dan Pearson, Joe Woodward in 8th, James Herring 9th, 10th for Michael Ford, Dan Merrin 11th, Michael Med in 12th position, 13th for Oliver Lensdale, Will Lathrop in 14th, Mick Lord in 15th from Carl Sanders, Nick Shaw and Gaz Pearson taking us down to 18th position, Nathan Smith 19th, Chloe Jones in 20th, Casey Hanby 21st, Ross Richards 22nd, Nathan Gardner 23rd, Adam Jameson rounding up the 24th with Dean Quincy in 25th, our final rider on the grid. 25 riders scheduled to take part in this race. Our final race of the day. Thanks, of course, for tuning in today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Alpha Live for more of the same throughout 2021 with the Rich Energy British Minibikes, along with the full complement of 2- and 4-wheel sport here in Alpha Live, on and off-road with the motocross in there as well, with a bit of rugby thrown in for good measure as well. Plenty of action in Alpha Live in 2021. Don't forget, of course, many of the events closed to spectators until May, so certainly enjoy the streaming. And if you can't make it to the track in person later in the year, don't forget to tune in throughout the year for all the action on Alpha Live. Give us a like and subscribe. For more information on British Minibikes, visit the BritishMinibikes.com website for all the information on the various race classes and how to get involved in the series as well. Thanks, of course, to our title sponsors, Rich Energy. For more information, visit richenergy.com. And Motos are mail order specialists for the world of minibike racing. Once again, backing the 140 group. Been operational now for about 15 years, Moto. And 2 riders, of course, to look out for in this one, Jim Lovell and Ryan Tyers. Of course, 2 of them leading names in British minibike racing. In there too as we wait for the flag to drop. And away we go, Rhys Stevenson on the inside. Gets the jump into the first corner. Richard Holmes Williams in there too. Will they make it through centre safely? It's very quick into that first corner. One rider going a bit wide, but they all seem to make their way through the first 2 corners safely. So Stevenson leads, Holmes Williams 2nd, Tyers 3rd, Lord in 4th position. Bit tight towards the back of the field, but the leaders now screaming down the straight run for the first time. Holmes Williams getting a jump down the straight and trying to line up Rhys Stevenson, who's got the line into S's. Holmes Williams trying to get the exit now. Here they come down the Simpson straight. Tyers and Lord just behind in 3rd and 4th position. They make their way through Paddock Bend. Here come the leaders. And it's, well, we'll look for Stevenson on the lap charts very shortly, but Holmes Williams in 2nd place. Very close, though, through centre. Tyers 3rd, Lord in 4th. Pearson just behind us. Holmes Williams again looking at Rhys Stevenson. 1, 2, 3, the race leader. Stevenson looking down the track, trying to get the line as they make their way through the Warren back onto the straight run, the fastest part of the track. Stevenson pulls away slightly, covers the line to prevent Holmes Williams from getting through, making their way back towards Simpson Straight. Ryan Tyers still there in 3rd place, still a long way to go as we just see Holmes Williams having a peek down the inside of Rhys Stevenson, the race leader. They cross the line. Holmes Williams down the inside into centre. Great move there from Richard Holmes Williams to take the lead. Stevenson down to 2nd. Back marker just hold the line, let the leaders through as they go through 180. But look out for Ryan Tyers in 3rd place. He is up there. Oh, but Stevenson makes a small mistake on the Warren. Stood the bike up in the corner. That will allow Tyers to close up. So Richard Holmes Williams, your race leader. Rhys Stevenson in 2nd place. Ryan Tyers pressuring in 3rd with 10 laps to go. Holmes Williams pulls away slightly as they make their way down towards Paddock Bend. And along the mark into the finish line straight. 9 laps to go. Holmes Williams, your race leader. Stevenson 2nd, Tyers 3rd. Rhys Stevenson not giving this one up. If you were watching earlier, of course, you'll know he had a frightening crash earlier on in the day. took some medical treatment, and back out there to complete the day's racing, and still as competitive as ever. Richard Holmes-Williams, though, leads the way and is determined to hold on. Ben Lord just a little bit further behind, 3.5 seconds adrift, but if these three start battling and holding each other up, this could allow Ben Lord back into it. Oh, but Ryan Tyers goes down, a small mistake, and Tyers goes down on the exit. I don't think he's dropped any oil as he kept the engine running. The bike's still in gear, I think, so yeah, he's got the clutch. He's going to, he's just struggling to get going again. So Ryan Tyers, a big moment there. One of the championship front runners goes down on the S's. So that brings it down to a two-way fight for the lead. Richard Holmes-Williams, Rhys Stevenson, Ben Lord, 48, just a little bit further behind. He will need these two to start battling if he's going to get involved in this battle for the lead. At the moment, there looks like Stevenson and Holmes-Williams, and Rhys Stevenson down the inside into the S's. Makes the pass. Now, can he make it stick? Holmes-Williams will come to fight back now as they make their way along Simpson Straight. Stevenson holds on. Holmes-Williams right on his rear wheel in second. This race is far from over, and we still have 7 laps to go. And here we see the line choice now as Holmes-Williams takes it wide, but Stevenson parks the bike on the apex, prevents him from making the switchback and making the move stick. Very close indeed. Oh, he's got to be careful there, Holmes-Williams, not to tap the back wheel of Stevenson. 1 or 2 tail enders in front. Ryan Tyers all the way down in 22nd place as we look at the 723 of Gaz Pearson in 21st. Is he aware that the leaders are coming through? So Stevenson gets through, as does Holmes-Williams. This will increase the pressure now, and Rhys Stevenson is the first rider to start catching up on the tail enders. If they're racing for position, they may not be aware that it's the leader coming through. Just adding to the pressure. Stevenson coping very well. See, of course, he had that nasty crash earlier on today, so a little bit patched together. Battered and bruised, you might say, but still holding on to the lead. Richard Holmes-Williams is certainly not letting him have things his own way, though, in second place. He still wants this race victory. 6 laps to go. And I wonder what Holmes-Williams in second's doing here, the 1-2-6. Is he racing for position right now, or is he just sitting there in second? He might just be weighing up Stevenson, the race leader, just seeing where he can make a move possibly, rather than doing anything too rash, trying to get through. Looking at the lines possibly where he might be able to improve on Stevenson. In the meantime, of course, just got to tag on as they make their way through the slow riders. Oh, but the back marker just cuts in front of Stevenson. Now sees the leaders coming through and lets them go by. This is part of racing, you would say. This is still as close as ever. 5 laps to go. And Holmes-Williams really keeping the pressure on the race leader, Rhys Stevenson. These two really cleared away now. Ben Lord, 8.6 seconds adrift in third. They really are pushing each other along, these two. This is what happens sometimes. You've got 2 guys fighting for the lead. They just push each other down the track effectively. No room for error. The rest of the field cuts adrift. Ben Lord in third, Chase Collymore fourth, Will Lathrope in fifth, Michael Med, Dan Pearson, Ryan Clark, Mick Lord and James Herring rounding up the top 10. But at the moment, it's all about this 2-way fight for the lead. Rhys Stevenson has led for a couple of laps now, but has been under constant pressure from Richard Holmes-Williams in second place. They're starting to pick their way through some of the midfield riders. And they will be encountering riders who are battling for position very soon. Oh, but Stevenson just bulked momentarily through the Warren. He's got to get past the slow riders as quickly as possible. This could be the opportunity that Holmes-Williams needs. He can't get down the inside, though. Stevenson holds on to the line, keeps the lead. 3 more laps to go at the end of this one. Catching up now on, it looks like Dean Quincy, 17th position, battling with 254, Nathan Gardner. This, of course, is a tricky part of the race now for Stevenson as he closes up on riders who are having their own battle a lap down. They, of course, will give the line up when they know it's a faster rider coming through, but the leader just has to work a little bit harder to make his presence known. And all of the time, Richard Holmes-Williams, 1-2-6 in second place, is right on the rear wheel. It has been as close as this for pretty much the entire race. Oh, but Gardner just bulking the race leader there. I don't think he knew it was the leader coming through. Pressure now really on Stevenson as they make their way into the S's. They both get past Gardner, who's now in 16th position. Another rider battling for position is Ross Richards in 15th place. Sees that it's the leaders, gives up the racing line. This is where it's so difficult, of course, for the leader. These riders they've just lapped, they're all battling for position. Of course, they're all sportsmen. They won't block the leader on purpose, but if they're battling for position equally, they don't want to give their own race up in the meantime, which means, of course, that it makes it a bit more difficult for Stevenson, who still holds on to the lead. There's nothing between these two riders. 2 more laps to go, and with respect to Ben Lord and Will Lathrope, 3rd and 4th, it's all about these two riders over 10 seconds adrift. What can Stevenson do as they make their way into the top corner? Can Holmes Williams fight back? Through the S as they go. 1.5 laps. Oh, a small, very tiny error there from Holmes Williams in the corner. Doesn't lose much time though. Really inconsequential at the moment as Stevenson holds on now. It looks like Holmes Williams fights back as they make their way down towards Paddock Bend for what will be the penultimate time. The last lap board goes out. Over the line they go. Stevenson with the fastest lap of the race, 46.893. These two really going for it now. Let's look at Holmes Williams. Again, he tries to take the outside sweep into Senna. Down to 180 they go. Still nothing between these two. Holmes Williams has got to do something now with half a lap to go. If he's going to win this race, Stevenson holds on. Through the Warren they go, down the back straight, and this is where Holmes Williams tries the outside sweep into the S's, cuts across. The inside line is blocked though. Holmes Williams takes a wider line. Once again, there's back marks in front though. This could be a part as well. They're closing up on the midfield runners rapidly. Nervous moments now for Rhys Stevenson into the final corner. This is Holmes Williams' opportunity. The checker flag goes out. It's a drag race to the line. And Rhys Stevenson, fantastic race there. 0.3 of a second between Rhys Stevenson and Richard Holmes Williams at the flag. The midfield runners make their way through. Ross Richards, Nathan Gardner, Joe Woodward and Dean Quincy. Ben Lord, a distant third, just goes to show the pace of those two riders. 13.7 seconds adrift. Will Lathrope in 4th, just behind. Chase Collymore takes 5th position from the treble 7 of Michael Med. Mick Lord making his way through now. He finishes in 7th place. Dan Pearson in 8th. Ryan Clark in 9th. James Herring rounding up the top 10. The last riders on the lead lap being Michael Ford, Carl Sanders in 12th. Oliver Linsdell in 13th. Sanders through to 11th on the final lap. Ford up to 12th position on the 166. Oliver Linsdell goes through in 13th.